Today. My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Black Theater. And as Disney Plus gets closer and closer and closer to its release here in the United States, the official release, we're 2 months away from today. One thing has become abundantly clear. And at first, I thought that it was going to ultimately be Star Wars that was going to be holding and propping up Disney Plus. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's not Star Wars. Star Wars is definitely a big part of the Disney Plus business model, but really, it's all about Marvel. And I should have seen that coming with all the D plus shows that have been announced. We have 3 D plus shows for Star Wars. We have like 7 for Marvel. And that's a pretty big deal. But it came out last night actually that they're going to be doing X-Men, Spider-Man cartoons from the 1990s are going to be available on Disney Plus. And that makes me so happy. That does. That makes me very, very, very happy. And that is exactly what they're going for. That's exactly what they want. They want the nostalgia here. Now check this out. Disney Plus is currently available in the Netherlands as part of a sneak preview for the company's new streaming service. And some of those early subscribers noticed that both the X-Men animated series and Spider-Man the animated series are available to stream. This is mind-blowing in many, many, many different ways. This is mind-blowing because if you grew up in the 90s like I did, I'm 37 years old. If you grew up in the 90s like I did, these shows, and love these shows. And this is a screenshot of season 1, episode 1, Night of the Sentinels. Classic episode. So many classic storylines. I believe out of the 5 seasons they ran that show. Yeah, 5 seasons on that. It's still a great show to watch. And the reason why I'm excited about this is because, for one, it showcases exactly one of the things that Fox gave to Disney. Right now, I like to joke and I like to say that when Fox dropped the 71.3 billion for the Fox assets, that they were pretty much buying the X-Men franchise, and they were just doing it as well as everything else. But the big thing that they wanted was the X-Men franchise, because they know that after Endgame, they've got to kind of come up with some more core characters that are going to make more multi-billions of dollars. And so it makes sense to get something like the X-Men. They just didn't want to spend the 70 billion. Originally, if you recall, it was like 55 billion was the offer. Then Comcast came in and then created a bidding war, which upped it to 71 billion. But still, X-Men was always the key property that they wanted. It just never dawned on me that it was the animated shows that would also be along with it. And whoever thought about bringing those animated shows and putting them on Disney Plus, smart move. Because what you've done at this point is, instead of, look, you got all the diehard MCU fans that are younger, that are like, oh, all the movies are going to be on there. The people that were like a kid when Iron Man came out, and then you've got them that are going to be watching all those movies. And then you're like, oh, but also, you have the people that are like me that are older, the parents of those younger kids, to an extent, are going to want to then go back and rewatch all of these early Saturday morning cartoon shows that we watched in the 90s, in the early 90s as kids. When our kids were watching Iron Man for the first time at that age, we were watching X-Men, we were watching Spider-Man, we were watching the original Iron Man show, the Fantastic Four animated series, and all of those are going to be on there. That just goes to show you that nostalgia is going to be a massive selling point for Disney Plus, and it's so smart. So smart. I was watching Andy Signore's live stream last night when he broke news of this, at least to me, broke news of it to me. And the dudes on there and Andy were all super stoked about it. They were all super happy about it. They very much were excited just to go back in and watch these shows, to go back in and relive these adventures, because they were so much fun to watch back in the day. The iconic theme song for the X-Men, that's still, here it is, 27 years later, is still the theme song for the X-Men. Da-da-da-na-na-na, 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 right? Like, that's the big one. And going forward into the X-Men and the MCU, they're going to have to use that theme song. If they don't use that theme song, then they're dumb, right? They're totally dumb. But this is where we find ourselves, as looking at a bunch of old Fox-run animated shows from back in the day that Disney now has access to, that are going to be on Disney Plus. Because I was looking at like a lot of the Disney Plus lineup that wasn't 100% comic book related. And I'm all like, okay, some of those things are going to be pretty cool. Like you give me like old school, like Disney afternoons, Goof Troop and Chip and Dale, Tailspin, Gargoyles. Like I think those are all going to be on there. They're going to have the 30 seasons of The Simpsons, which is going to be good to watch. There's going to be a lot there to watch cartoon wise. But then they drop this and it's all of a sudden now you've got my interest even more. And I'll tell you guys why, especially for the X-Men, why it's got my interest. So back in like 04, 05, somewhere in there, I happened to be looking around Craigslist in San Diego, looking just to see what people were selling. And one dude was actually selling bootleg copies of the X-Men animated series on DVD. All 5 seasons on 4 discs, heavily compressed, $20. So I bought it. I drove down and I met the guy and I gave him $20 and I bought the disc because back then that's the only way to get it. Now, I don't condone selling this stuff. I don't condone going down that path, but I wanted to, I'm like, $20 wasn't a big deal for me. I'm like, oh, I want to see how it is. It was terrible quality. And I've always wanted them to come and release these things on home video. I was just at Comic-Con 2 months ago, and I came across a booth that was selling bootleg animated shows and bootleg, foreign films or things along those lines. You think that kind of stuff doesn't still sell at major conventions? No, it absolutely does, but it's not broadcast in any specific way. So you go over there and you're like, oh, this is clearly just ripped off. This is clearly just bootleg from television, And the thing with that is I could go online and I could find all this stuff. I could go and I could find the VHS rips or like the old TV rips from back in the day, the low 480p, 4:3 frame. And granted, this is all going to be 4:3 frame memory. Anyway, I don't believe these are updated. I don't think these are HD remasters. But in the age of like, let's say Warner Brothers remastering the Batman animated series, which looks remarkable in HD, giving us these shows to watch on Disney Plus is pretty fantastic. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun when that time comes to actually like dive in. So in 2 months, I'll be able to dive in. But this kind of nostalgia polling does get my attention. And I do think that this is a big factor. Pulling on the nostalgia and really ramping up Marvel content is going to be what Disney Plus is known for. As excited as I am for The Mandalorian and Cassian Andor and Obi-Wan and Clone Wars, whatever else comes out, so I did forget to mention Clone Wars earlier. It's one of those things where I think Marvel is going to be what props up Disney Plus, and that's what people are going to go to it for. And, again, with Endgame pulling in 2.79 billion, Spider-Man getting 1.1 billion, Captain Marvel 1.1 billion. People want more Marvel. And here they're going to be getting their hands on a treasure trove of content that really hasn't seen a massive home video release, I don't think. I could be wrong on that, but it's like a lot of these things. I mean, I know Fantastic Four, when they released the second movie in 2007, they did release the DVDs of the original animated show, which was pretty terrible. But the Iron Man, I don't think has ever made it on there. I don't know, but I'm excited. I that's all I want to say is I'm excited for this. But what do you guys have to say about this? Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Please like and comment and subscribe and click the bell and check out Patreon. And I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one and peace out.